Everybody watching the stream right now, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. I'm just gonna remove these two side things. I can't rig my. Unfortunately, I can't rig my avatar here yet because of I'm getting some problems with the connections and stuff, especially on my end. But at least it's going to be. I think it's gonna be much better than before. I think. I don't know. But I hope it is. I hope it is. I really hope it is. Anyway, welcome to the stream. For those of you who are joining in, I'm just gonna send the link again. I'm actually, I don't know if I'm expecting anyone to watch the stream, but if you're watching this stream right now, hello, hi, nice. It's me, Migzu, and without the avatar. So yeah, I guess this is what we're doing right now. We're what okay. I couldn't I need a script. This is why I don't do streams, this is why I do YouTube videos instead. So yeah. Today we will be doing today we will actually be doing mid-year 2021 tier list. Now, what this is going to be about is that this is going to be a tier list of all the shows from winter and spring 2021, because we are already near the end of the spring season, going into the summer season. Um, since a lot of the shows from spring is going to end, apparently, we are going to make a tier list instead of the usual "That's a Wrap" video that I used to make way back in the day. So that, well, I mean, to catch up on my That's a Wrap videos. Unfortunately, I can't say anything about fall 2020 because you've already seen my tweets. If you follow me on Twitter at Bugoys2017, you guys should really definitely check me out on Twitter. But but that's I already gave my thoughts on how fall 2020 went. And so I wanted to make a tier list instead on the winter and spring 2021 anime season. For those who are watching this archived, maybe you can check out the tier list in the description below and like comment. I don't know if there could comment on it. I haven't been on Tier Maker for a very very long time, so we're just going to do that. And you guys there in the chat box can roast roast my terrible opinions in anime. So yeah, I'm gonna just put some stuff. Oh, by the way, this is going to be in lieu of the That's a Wrap series that I used to cover until like summer of 2020. I really do hope that I continue That's a Wrap because I really love making That's a Wrap videos because it's great. I love it. It's nice. Um, okay. You can hear me. You can. Okay. Let's just. Alrighty. Shall we begin? So as we were well known, in every tier list there would be seven rankings in this. From S A B C D E F, S being amazing, like 10 out of 10, and F being the worst. So we have 30 series we have to go through, obviously all from the winter and spring 2021 anime. And just to clarify, I did not include the anime. I did not include some shows in here, but I included a sizable 30 anime series in this list so that it will be I don't know, you would have more leeway on my trashy tastes and opinions on these shows. So yeah, I think we're good to go. I believe we are good to go. And let's start first with the first one on this list, Kemono Jihen. Now, this anime actually, if you must know, this anime is actually one of the few anime series on Winter 2021, which was based on a manga. Now, I definitely think that there are actually some other shows that are probably based on manga that I didn't include in this list because, well, surprise, surprise, I didn't watch every anime in Winter 2021, but I did watch Kemono Jihen. And you know what? After like a after seeing the premise, I was like, okay, so this is like Soul Eater Detective Conan kind of stuff with really cool art style. And to be honest, after the end of it, I would put this in a B tier. Because there are some things in Kemono Jihen that I really enjoy, and overall I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's something about Kemono Jihen that I think needs to be worked on, and that's why I want to put it in like the benchmark B tier instead of A tier, like that. So yeah, this is where I would put Kemono Jihen. It's a really great show, guys. You can watch it on wherever you want. If you're from Southeast Asia or South Asia, you can watch it on Muse Communications on Muse Asia's YouTube channel. It's great. It's a good show. It's a pretty good show. I haven't read the manga that yet, so maybe the manga readers could say something about that. All right. Next up would be Jakukara Tomozaki-kun. I believe that's the one. Okay. See, here's the thing about bottom tier Tomozaki-kun. This is one of the most ridiculous premises I've ever heard of. Because it's about like an introverted gamer guy who meets a girl who gamifies social situations. And I mean, I liked it. It's decent enough, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit mid. You tried to rise up in the top tiers of this list, bottom tier Tomozaki Kun, but unfortunately, I'm gonna give it a C tier because it was just mid, especially like the first a few and the last few episodes that came out. The middle part of the show was actually kind of okay, but the the middle and the beginning parts were like, okay, no, this is gonna be something like Rent a Girlfriend. It's gonna make the main girl be this absolute chad of a character, and the rest are like freaking, I don't know, cardboard cutouts of other characters. It is okay. It's not bad, but it's not great either. All right. Next up, we have what's that? Quintessential quintuplets double integral. Now, this is the part where I say I this is the part where I realized that uh I found out why manga readers love the heck out of this show so much. It's because, well, the art style is pretty cute, and Tezuka Productions did a really great job in season one, and it's fantastic. But with I don't know, there's just something about Yakiara Tomozaki Kun that it's not really striking, to be honest, and I couldn't really. I especially like season two, but there's something about like quintessential quintuplets that makes me really feel bubbly and warm inside in the manga, in at least the first season. But in the second season, though, I felt like it would have been much better if it were Tezuka Productions doing it. Then again, Tezuka Productions has a lot of things to worry about. Vibery did not bad animation style. It's great, but I don't know. It's good, but it's not great. That's why I want to put this in the B tier. It's a pretty okay show. If you like your quintessential quintuplets, then you would probably enjoy quintessential quintuplets double integral if you're a fan of quintessential quintuplets. If you're a fan of like wholesome harem anime, then oh my god, you guys have to experience quintessential quintuplets. Now, it depends on you if you want to put if you want to experience it in the manga form or in two anime adaptation seasons. And apparently we're gonna get a movie like this. So I really hope it if it does happen to follow that route that Saikano did, I hope they don't like rush the heck out of the show for like, I don't know, 6 volumes of the light novel. But this one's based on like a manga, so I guess they have more. They got more uh, better pacing with the material at hand. All right. Next up here we have Tenku Shinpan, also known as High Rise Invasion. Now, while scanning through the anime that I'm gonna put on this list, I included those that came out from January to June. That came out on Netflix, and is one of them, actually. One of them shows that went came on Netflix, and initially, like the first few episodes, I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be in my A tier because I just love survival horror action anime. I mean, you think of survival horror action anime with a lot of ecchi fan service in it. You think of High School of the Dead. Sorry, High School of the Dead. You think of High School of the Dead, and there's something about High School of the Dead that just is so. There's just something amazing about High School of the Dead. Let's just say that. But then the latter few episodes of High Rise Invasion came out, and just this girl Yuri Honjo just becomes a Chad for for God knows what reason. Probably because of the mass and stuff like that. But overall, wasn't a huge fan of High Rise Invasion. Honestly, I really wanted to I really wanted to I really wanted to enjoy High Rise Invasion, and of course I did. I really enjoyed the High Rise Invasion. I mean, my favorite character in that show is Sniper Mask, but there's just something about High Rise Invasion that just nah, fam. It's probably like the development of the characters. They're just mishandled. It's because this main character girl just goes from virgin to Chad in like really fast of a momentum. It's not even like half of the manga apparently, according to some manga readers out there. But I don't know. It's entertaining, but nah, man, nah. It's a little bit worse. It's a little bit worse than meh. It's like a 4 out of 10. So I put it in the D tier. Um, Tenku Shinpan. Look, I really wanted to enjoy Tenku Shinpan, which otherwise known as High Rise Invasion. I really wanted to like High Rise Invasion, but I just can't. I really can't do it. All right, what do we have here? Next up is oh boy, oh boy, oh here we go. Okay, prepare your chairs, everyone. Prepare your glasses of fine juice because this is oh my god, this is great. So if you squinted your eyes a little bit closer to this is the anime adaptation of the most notorious titles that came out of Winter 2021, and it is Redo of a Healer, Kaifuku Jutsu no Yarinaoshi. Now, if you want to know my thoughts on Redo of a Healer, then oh boy, it's kind of like it kind of it's literally it's what happens. Here's the thing about Redo of a Healer is that I didn't know how it didn't get that much backlash from Twitter. Probably because of something like Attack on Titan season 4 is airing right now, which I will put on the tier list later on in this stream. But my God, Read of a Healer when it came out, that second episode was just oh my God, that was that's even worse than like a doujinshi. It's probably it's it's just worse in general, and I don't know why this show got popular, but after watching the Anime Man's interview with Sukiya Rui, the creator, the author of this, whatever the hell this is, I could safely say that it's definitely what some modern dark fantasy fans really love. And I mean, I respect him for actually like tackling on the show like this. Me personally, though, as much as I respect Sukiya Rui for just coming out of the blue like that, just having no filter whatsoever, because man's a man's a something really. I'm gonna put this in an E tier, saving it for the F tier just because of how amazing Kuribayashi Minami sings that opening theme song. Even though the opening theme song's lyrics are kind of messed up, and the show's definitely messed up. The animation style is not too bad. I mean, it's TNK. I mean, I remember there was like one interaction I had where I said that TNK really loves to clout on the on the most controversial of shows ever. Back in the 2000s, TNK had the School Days adaptation, and oh my god, that's a straight down to F tier. But don't worry, TNK actually does really good shows too, like High School DxD. High School DxD has a really good plot. Let's just say that. TNK did High School DxD, the first 3 seasons of High School DxD, and the plot was nice, and their art style is nice. So I can't complain about the art style because TNK has some decent animation. So I'm saving that for the F tier. And again, Minami Kuribayashi's opening because I fucking love Minami Kuribayashi so much. But this is shutting down to the E tier, man. It's a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit it's a little bit bearable than School Days, which TNK also produced. But my God, I can't. Oh my Lord, I just can't. Oh my God, man. Uh anyway, don't please don't watch a redo of a healer. It's just not worth it. I mean, if you read the novel, then go for it. The novel's probably a little bit novel's probably more obscene than the anime or the manga, but my God. I didn't expect the anime to be like that. That's like holy shit levels, man. Alright. Enough of the redo for Healer Fiasco. I think we got that covered. Next in the series, next in this tier list we have Ijiranai de Nagatoro-san. Now this is an interesting series because hold on. If Redo of a Healer was an anime adaptation of a really messed up light novel, messed up manga, which is like borderline dojin, then this one is from an author who actually did start off as a hardcore dojin artist, like very very taboo doujinshi stuff, and then they made this. So if you guys don't know, Jiranai de Nagatoro-san is made by Nanashi, who did really who's a doujin artist, as I said. But surprisingly, when I read the manga of this, the first time I actually heard of it and read the manga of it, Nagatoro-san was surprisingly really good, and really wholesome at times. Even though it's like straight up psychological warfare, like Giga said. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. The first few bits were nice. The latter few bits were kind of meh. Then like the latest 2 episodes were, it's alright. And since it's an it's alright thing, though I actually did enjoy it, the manga's way better with it than this. I really can't say more about that. It's chucking down into C tier. It's meh. It's alright. It's not bad, but it's not a good adaptation to the manga. I would put it on a B tier because man, that manga was like enjoyable as hell. That's especially with Nanashi's art style, man. That's some unexpected stuff right there. All right. And I guess we're gonna put Nagatoro at C tier. Don't worry, I might change some of this when we get into the next week because as of the recording of this video, Nagatoro hasn't finished yet. The last episode we might change my opinion on this. But for now, as of this stream, Nagatoro is in the C tier. It's okay. Alright. Next up we have, I think this is Skate. Hold on, let me check my list. This tier maker somehow crops everything. I couldn't see much of it. All right, yes. This is Skate the Infinity. So this is a Bones original anime with pretty boys and skateboarding. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a B tier. Why? Purely because of the Sakuga of the skateboards. Holy crap. If you haven't seen Skate and you don't know anything about skateboarding, if you know anything about skateboarding and stuff like that, even if you don't know anything about skateboarding like me, I don't really know that much about the skateboarding, although I do know a little bit of skate culture. The skateboarding and animation in this, it's like, wow, that's great. It reminded me of like Free at some points because it's like Kyoto. I mean, Free has the animation where Free's animation was just like, wow, that swimming, that water is just so fresh. And then this one is like so cool. This anime radiates very cool energy, and I really appreciate that. Story, I couldn't give couldn't say anything close about the story of Skate the Infinity, but I've heard it's okay. But the animation is great. I mean, I can expect anything less from Bone Studios. They did. I mean, they do. They're like the masters of fight scenes, and apparently scenes like these as well. This Sakuga of the skateboarding just blew me away with Skate. It's great. If you just want to watch a really cool animation of skateboarding, then I definitely recommend Skate. Even if you think that Skate was kind of mid, yeah, it's probably way too high on the list for me a B tier. It's just B tier here because the animation and the direction actually. Usumi Hiroko, he directed the show, and I actually did a little bit of research. She was also the one who directed the first two seasons of Free. Direction and animation of the show is just mint, and I liked it. I like the ride of Skate the Infinity. It's great. All right. Next up we have Shingeki no Kyojin Season 4 Part 1. Actually, this is Part 1. Apparently, Mappa decided to release the second part of the final season next year, winter. But this winter, 2021, we got Shingeki no Kyojin Season 4, the final season, which tackles the final two arcs of the Shingeki no Kyojin story. Now, how do I say this? I liked Shingeki no Kyojin. I really enjoyed it. It is a modern classic. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it's definitely going towards a modern classic, no matter how much it tries. And I mean, with the animation style, with the shift in animation, I didn't actually really seem to mind because it didn't bother me that much. Because well, if you guys didn't know, I mean, a lot of you guys probably know that this is done by Mappa Studios now. And you know what? I kind of like it. It's a good animation. There are a lot of people in Twitter, especially during this time of this recording, where they're just ranting about how Shingeki no Kyojin's final season animation Sakuga and CG just didn't match up to Wit Studio. But to be honest, guys, if you love your Madhouse stuff, then you're probably going to get the same CG as in Mappa Studios because well, they did branch off of they did some of the founders of Mappa actually used to work at Madhouse, and so it's probably that which probably that kind of CG that you saw in Shingeki no Kyojin in season 4. I didn't realize I was saying Shingeki no Kyojin a lot instead of Attack on Titan because it just sounds cooler in the Japanese title. I don't know, but it can sound cool in Attack on Titan. It's pretty good. I liked it, but not my. It's definitely not mine. 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, guys. Because all right, here's the thing about the Shingeki no Kyojin final season. I wanted more out of the final season, especially with this. It was advertised as like the final season. I didn't actually expect it to have like a second part or something, but apparently they have a second part, and I just felt like the last episode was a bit anticlimactic, and so I put it in an A tier, just a little bit below S tier, very high A tier. All right. Next up we have Doctor Stone, Stone Wars. Now, okay, okay. Yeah, this is the one show where I just I just thought it was mid. Like I watched Doctor Stone Stone Wars, but I watched like very extensive highlights, scenes from Doctor Stone Stone Wars. But again, I mean not again, but this is probably the first time you'll ever hear me talk about Doctor Stone. But Doctor Stone season 2 was like why is there a tournament arc in the middle of this building civilization thing? Are we back now? Are we back? Are we actually back? Can you tell me? Hey, hello? Hi? There's durations and stuff like that, shits. Okay. Stop glitching. Damn it. Why is it glitching? Can't believe it's glitching on me again. Hold on. There's a little bit of problem in this. Why did you glitch on me? Come on, OBS. Why you gotta be like this? Okay, we're back. I didn't say as much about Doctor Stone, but TLDR, I think I talked way too much and the stream just disconnected on me. So the so Doctor Stone again. Oh my god, I think I've got cursed because this is a science anime. Again, Doctor Stone is an anime I really wanted to love, but I just couldn't with the second season. It was kind of meh, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, if you guys love your Doctor Stone, good on you. But personally, I just couldn't get into Doctor Stone. So yeah, let's just go with that. All right, next up we have I love this. I love this. I love to talk about this a lot because this anime made a lot of manga readers just shrivel up and cry. It is Promise Neverland season 2. Oh my god. Now, to give you a brief context of why I said that in the most brutally honest of ways, Promise Neverland season 2 was poorly received in terms of in terms of the adaptation. Why? Because apparently, according to the producers of the anime, they made an abbreviated, aka a more a little bit scrunched, scrunch version of the later volumes that were adapted into season 2. And to manga readers, that was just a whole travesty. And as someone who has read Promise Neverland myself, I had high hopes for this one. I mean, Mamoru Kande, he directed Elfen Lied, and the first season of Promise Neverland wasn't too bad. It wasn't actually way too bad. I actually thought it was pretty good. But second season just dropped the ball in terms of like animation quality. I mean, animation quality was fine. Story wise, nah, fam. It's checking down to the E tier. It's really bad. I am gonna recommend this the least. If you want to experience Promise Neverland, but you have seen the anime, the first season of the anime, if you haven't seen season 2, don't bother with it. Just go watch. Go watch. I mean, go read the manga because, man, it's just. It was. It's so bad. I can't. Alright, it was really bad. Alright. Oh, on the flip side, we have ReZero Season 2. Now, this show is fucking awesome. Now, if you don't know anything, if you don't know anything about me, my YouTube channel, or my Twitter, I usually post it on Twitter, then you would know that I am a massive, massive fan of isekai and trashy isekai, but in different ways. But because it's I have like a love hate relationship with isekai. I mean, I am a massive fan of isekai, like the store, like the whole concept of isekai itself. Because wow, I wanted to see how this person would navigate into another world. That's very interesting to me. But there's so many really bad isekai back in the day. But out of all that trash, one of those which stood out to me since 2016, since the first season of the anime, was ReZero Kara Hajimeru Isekai Seikatsu, or ReZero for short. Now, ReZero is just, I don't know, it's mind blowing. Especially when the second season first came out last year. It was, oh my god. And then the second part just came in and I just blew my expectations away. if you thought that Subaru's backstory was great, you definitely haven't seen Emilia's backstory. Because my god, that was depressing as hell, but it was so good. But I did find some pacing issues, especially with that whole Emilia's backstory. I wish it would have been dragged out too long because the later parts were a bit rushed, in my opinion. But overall, this is an A. This is an A tier anime. Like first half of season 2 is on my S tier list. Like I didn't make a 2020 tier list, but if you have seen my summer 2020 that's a wrap video, then you would know you would know that this show is one of my favorite isekais to watch. I mean, other than Konosuba and I guess Log Horizon as well. And of course, another anime that will be coming out in this tier list. You would know, okay. But yeah, ReZero. Go watch it, guys. It's great. Next, we have. Ooh, now this is a underrated gem right here. Wonder Egg Priority. Now, Wonder Egg is depressing. It's hella depressing. And something about Wonder Egg Priority, which gave me a lot of Sarazan Mai vibes when it first came out. And through the show progressed, it just became more screwed and more. It just became more screwed and more skewed up. But man, this is coming to an A tier. Well, the reason why I put this on an A tier and not into the S tier is because the last episode was kind of I needed more. I really needed more. The episode was not too bad. The last episode wasn't too bad, but I just felt like I needed more for Wonder Egg. Well, I mean, it's cool. We're getting like a follow up to Wonder Egg Priority coming in summer, but man, I really wish they just made it like a 14 episode series and that. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed Wonder Egg Priority. I mean, Cloverworks. I can't go wrong with their animation, but I really enjoyed. I'm just gonna say it. Just go watch Wonder Egg Priority. It was actually one of my friends who recommended it to me over on Discord. One of my friends recommended Wonder Egg Priority to me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this show a go. And then I watched it and I'm like, wow, I'm sad, but this is so good. It's like it's the saddest and my feeling all over again, man. I mean, I thought Sarazanmai was good, but this is just way much better than good. Since the sad the last episode didn't make me warrant it an S tier, but it is the best original anime I've seen in winter 2021. It's great. You guys have to watch it. All right. Next up, still in the winter 2021 tier. I guess still in the winter 2021 year, but we did get summer 2021 anime here. But anyway, but it's mostly winter, except for Ijaranai and Agatoro-san. But anyway, all right. Next up, we have the brand spanking new isekai that came out in winter 2021, and of course, it is the anime adaptation of the godfather of modern isekai itself, Mushoku Tensei: Jobless Reincarnation. Now, if you thought that the tropes of isekai, especially the reincarnation isekai, if you thought the tropes there if you thought the tropes there were, well, hella tropey, then you would hella tropey, and why are they all and you pondered yourself, why are they all the same? It's probably because of Mushoku Tensei. Your favorite isekai show, your favorite trashy harem isekai show, probably copied Mushoku Tensei. That's right, guys. Mushoku Tensei, as I said before, is the godfather of modern isekai. I mean, think about it. You started off as this 30 plus something otaku, like proper otaku, who gets hit by a truck. Yes, this is the origin story of Truck-kun, and goes to a fantasy world where he learns magic fantasy, and all this stuff. But in this show, the magic systems aren't just BS. There aren't just here you go, you get a power fantasy, you get a harem girls. Yeah, there you go. But the magic system in Mushoku Tensei makes a lot of sense. This author, forgot their name, Rifuji no Magonote. The author really put some time and effort into producing these magic systems that were released in this show. And this animation by Studio Bind, which technically be a White Fox anime too, because it is actually technically an arm of White Fox Studios animators that did this show. Um, the animation quality here is close to cinematic quality. I mean, I am talking early 2000s, like animation quality, something a bit of like Dead Leaves, and probably some quality of like Mew or Makoto Shinkai kind of quality of animation too. It is great. I really enjoyed Mushoku Tensei, and the fact that it got that great of an anime adaptation really paid sincere homage to the godfather of modern isekai itself. That's why I'm putting that as an S tier, my boys. Mushoku Tensei is my very first S tier. It is absolutely amazing, and I'm just gonna say that. That's a if so, guys. If you want to experience isekai, if you haven't actually watched modern isekai, if you think that modern isekai is bland, then you have to recalibrate that brain and watch Mushoku Tensei, because this is honestly like isekai was meant to be beautiful, and Mushoku Tensei really nailed that feeling of yes, isekai is actually very beautiful. All right, next up we have Horimiya. Now this is an anime series which was adapted from a manga that manga readers really really loved for some reason. Um, I don't know. I don't know about you, but when it comes to like romance anime, I like romance anime when they're of flawed people, and I don't know about you, but I absolutely love the heck out of the Horimiya anime. It's put in the A tier. Now, here's the reason why I put it in an A tier and not in an S tier. Some of the Miyamura and Hori romance were kind of a bit rushed, in my opinion. Although, to be fair, the director himself found out how how this is like romantic comedy, the simplest romantic comedy that you can ever write. But what saved it from not going down to B or C tier is that the side characters are as important as the main couple, Hori and Miyamura. Like I think at one point I was invested in the relationship in the rekindling of relationship between the brother and sister Iyorashu and her and his younger sister. I was a lot more I think at one point I was a lot more invested in just Miyamura's personal growth, like from being this person who was judged by other people to just judging themselves, and of course, and to just like letting everything go. And I don't know, man. There's just something about this show which just really captivates. It's really captivating to see. And of course, the animation style. How can I forget about the animation style? It's great. This animation style is reminiscent of like 2000s, late 2000s anime. To, from 2008 and 2009. It reminded me a lot of those, and like I don't know about you, this show reminded me. The animation of this show reminded me of Zero no Skyma, Familiar of Zero. the first incarnation of the anime adaptation is like ages ago, which is like literally almost more than a decade ago, and I really enjoyed that art style. It was so refreshing to see that kind of art style in 2021. Personally, this was my favorite anime because I mean, as much as I love isekai, I'm more of a romance anime trash man. But comparing this to Mushoku Tensei, I feel like Mushoku Tensei is a little bit better. But this is actually pretty good. I'll put it in the same spot as Wonder Egg Priority and um, Attack on Titan season 4. Right. On to the next one. All right. Next up we have. I mean, some of these winter anime haven't even been placed here yet, but if I remember correctly, yeah, it hasn't been. Wait, no, it has. Oh no, yeah. I'm. I got confused. Holy shit! I'm so sorry. Let's start off. Let's go. Let's just move. Let's continue. Let's start. Let's continue with this one. And this show is just fucking brilliant, guys. Now, wait, I should probably introduce what this show is. This is Moriarty the Patriot, Part 2, the second half of Moriarty the Patriot. Now, as of the recording of this stream, as of this live stream, Moriarty hasn't finished yet. Like, the anime adaptation for Yukoku no Moriarty hasn't finished yet. But, what there's a thing about the thing about Moriarty the Patriot is that it is brutal but not but it's very necessarily brutal because this is an adaptation, or I guess a reimagining of Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes. Like this, but this time it is twisted in favor of three different incarnations of James Moriarty. We got Albert, Lewis, and William James Moriarty. Now, with and of course we got the classic Sherlock stuff right here. And when I saw that Sherlock episode, the one where it's the study in S, the first episode where it's purely in the um in the perspective of Sherlock Holmes, I was sold. I was immediately sold. I'm like, okay, this show is great. And the first part, like, oh man, this is so brutal. I like it. But the moment the study in S came out, I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I really like. I don't know, man. I really love Yuko no Moriarty. So I have a lot of love for this show. Apparently the manga was a bit more brutal. Could have been a bit better, but then again, after seeing 22, because there are two other episodes that, I mean, one of them already aired. There's like a final episode coming out this week. But from all of the anime that I have heard of, especially the second part of Moriarty the Patriot, it is brilliant as hell. It's very much an underrated show. And as much as I didn't want to call it an underrated show, unfortunately it is. But man, I have a lot of love for Moriarty the Patriot. It's easily one of my favorite psychological anime that's airing right now. It is bordering on some like horror thriller esque type of stuff. And if you love your crime, and if you are a massive fan of Sherlock Holmes, like myself, a classic literature bookworm like me, then you will most definitely love Moriarty the Patriot. Now, to understand to understand the second part, you have to watch the first part. Obviously, go watch the series. It's great. The last episode's coming out next week, and I'm so excited for it. All right, up next we have Last the Dungeon anime. I am not gonna be bothered to read the whole freaking title. It's so long. But this anime, I don't know, I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. It's kind of like a power fantasy where I'm like, oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that. The animation was just, nice. And then the story just breaks everything you know about power fantasy, and I'm like, nice. And I don't know. That's pretty much what I think about the Boonies Last Dungeon anime. So yeah, very fresh take. on power fantasy, makes it more comedic and zany and weird. It's nice. It's fine. Let's move on. Again, oh, okay. This one. Now, this is where we're going to. I don't know. I have no idea if it's finished, but I'm pretty sure I'm not that caught up into this anime right here. It is Mashiro no Oto or the Snow White Notes. It's about the shamisen. And if you know me, I love. I actually am fascinated, interested with classic wagaki, which are Japanese instruments. And if you know me, I have wagaki band on my playlist right now. But then again, this is like a show where I'm like, damn, I was captivated by Mashiro no Oto, especially with that seasonal anime review that Gigak made like 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. It's great. I loved it. It's such a good show about the shamisen. Then again, I was kind of missing some bits of it, so I'm just putting it in the B tier. Honestly, a really good shamisen show. I recommend. All right, up next we have the first part. I guess the first part of Fumetsu no Anata e. I don't know if it's the first part. I don't know if this is actually going to be a two-part, but Fumetsu no Anata e, also known as To Your Eternity. Now, this is also one of those anime that I have read the manga of. Way back in the day when Aki Dearest recommended it. Yeah. And, oh my god, it's great. If you love your silent voice, you're gonna have the same, like, feeling. However, the story and the dramatic bits are actually very, very different. Though it is kind of about like seeking the love of others and seeking the the companionship that he wanted to seek. It is an anime that just really hits you differently in the sad scale. This is one of those anime where you wouldn't expect it to make you feel more sad than you thought right now. But apparently, I was wrong about that. This anime absolutely, astronomically, was an amazing drama fantasy show. And if you haven't read the manga is so beautiful. I have no idea how beautiful modern manga can be like that. But Oyama Sensei just does a great job at like these kinds of beautiful drama stories. I mean, that's the same thing that happened with A Silent Voice. I mean, I love the manga, I love the movie as well for two different reasons. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in an A tier because it's just so good. All right, next up we have Gokushufudo, also known as The Way of the House Husband. Now there is a lot. If you have, as of the recording of the stream, then you might have witnessed. If you have been on Twitter, you might have noticed like there was a bit of a freak out regarding this anime right here, Gokushufudo, in that there are people who are whining about how why is there no animation? Why is it just like a slideshow and stuff like that? And to be honest, I was almost kind of punked, but then I found out that the production team actually made it so that it is just a motion comic. It isn't even an anime. It is a motion comic. And I think the problem lies on the marketing, especially like the worldwide marketing that Netflix did on this show. That it's not even an anime. It's a motion comic. I put it on the tier list because it is a show that is beloved by many, especially in the manga world. The Way of the House Husband is just probably like the funniest comedy anime that apparently they could ever think of regarding yakuza and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know about you, but against all those other people saying bad things about this, I really enjoyed this, even as a short form series. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier because I'm not. I don't know about any of you guys watching the stream, but I really liked the adaptation of Boku Shinfudo. I don't care what you say, it's great. If you don't like it, just go read the manga. It's probably the same thing but without the voice acting. Next, oh, we have Shadow House. I think that's the name of it, Shadow House. Now, this one, I'll put this on the B tier too again, because again, this is the thing. The premise and the story as I watched it was good. It was good, not great. But what really sold me as it more than a C tier is the overall feeling of a gothic anime. I don't know. I really love gothic anime. Especially like I really love gothic fiction in general. I just love gothic fiction. I mean, Crimson Peak is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's a Guillermo del Toro gothic movie. And I don't know, man. There's just something about gothic stuff that just resonates with me. For some reason that probably might have been from my emo phase, my short-lived emo phase. Uh, People who know me know that I did have an emo phase, so I'm gonna put this in a B tier because, man, Shadow's House is just amazing. I don't know about you, but I found it amazing. All right, next up we have Higehiro. Now this is an anime series which was based on a very notorious light novel called the Higeo Soru Soshite Chikamo Hiro. Like I shaved and I brought a high school girl home after I got rejected or something like that. It's a very long light novel title because you never get wrong with long light novel titles. My God. Anyway, Higehiro, this show is interesting. Now, again, as of the recording of this stream, as of the live stream, it hasn't finished yet. There was one more episode that's gonna come out. I think I don't know, but I don't know because I didn't actually bother to look up how many episodes this is. It's probably 12 or 13. But anyway, regardless of that, this show was. It started off as like meh. It started off like a C tier anime, but as it progressed, I started to realize, man, this show was more than a C tier. Then the latest episode came out. I was like, maybe it is a C tier. Now I don't know. So it can be bordering towards C or B tier. Like I'm a bit conflicted in where Higehiro is placed. Although to be fair, they did cut out all the scenes, which made the series 10 times more interesting in the light novel and manga. So I'm gonna put this in C tier. Unfortunately, if Kanda Ao, if that story just got adapted into the anime, I would have loved this show much more. But you never know, man. You never know. Okay, all right. This is where some people are gonna start to be like, "This guy has trash taste." You definitely have trash taste. It's shown right here, right now. This guy definitely has trash taste, and it is this one right here. Is the I think it's airing as of spring 2021 right now, but I'm gonna judge it as on a whole. This show called you may have known it. I don't know if you know this show. It's called My Hero Academia, and uh, what can I say about My Hero Academia that wasn't said before? It's a shonen. It's a good shonen. I don't know what to tell you. I needed like willpower to literally watch season 4, and honestly, even though I actually didn't finish, and I don't know if this is going to get like just 13 episodes in season 5 of this anime, I'm still gonna probably put this in like C. The reason why I can't what do you call it? I just can't watch My Hero Academia anymore. There's something about like My Hero Academia that I'm just like I can't watch it. Like it's one of those shows. It's one of those shonen shows where I thought it was great. I think it was great. I think it is. And I don't know, man. I think it's great. The manga is picking up the pace as we speak, but I don't know, man. There's just something about uh My Hero Academia that I just couldn't get into, even though the premise literally struck me as a Katekyo Hitoman Reborn kind of thing. Such a great. Anyway, let's move on. All right, next up we have the other new isekai that came out in winter and finished in spring. It is the Spider Isekai, Kumo desu ka nanika? And this is like one of the newest, again, it's one of the newest isekai that came out in winter 2021. It is the, that it is a very, very massively popular show in Japan. And I had no idea why. And I had no idea why until I started watching it with my brother. And after watching this show, I'm just like, oh hell yeah! I don't know, man. There's just something about this spider isekai that made me think that it's like, oh, it's the same. It's the whiplash I get with No Game No Life. There's just something about this show that's just really resonates with me. It's so entertaining, especially with Aoi Yuki's spider voice. I don't know. Anyway, this show was hell entertaining. But is the story good? I'm not that quite sure, but it is so entertaining to me that I'm gonna put this at a B tier. So, because it's just so good. All right. Next up, on this list, we have oh 86. Now, I have a lot of things to say about 86, probably because a lot of people really thought uh, that this show is gonna be very highly action packed. Some people, I'm not saying all, because I just heard some of my friends say it's gonna be action packed, but no, this show is like it strikes me like something like Code Geass is. It's not all action. There are some bits here that just it is just straight up depressing stuff. Like this is like some depressing kind of stuff. I remember once in a competition I hosted, my co-host apparently loves anime and she's into a series like Code Geass, which is a political mecha war thriller show. Now, to to me, now if I ever meet her again, if I ever do meet her again, I am going to recommend this beast of a show to her because there's just something about 86 that's just fucking awesome. Now, if you don't know, 86 is an anime that was based on a light novel which garnered awards in Japan, which is very interesting, especially for the author Asato, who's apparently is is actually just this is actually her first novel, and it's fantastic. I don't know about you, very high Code Geass vibes. If you love your Code Geass, then you definitely love 86. As I said before, I'm gonna probably recommend this to her if we ever meet again. But damn, I don't know. This is what 86. It's A1 Pictures. It's Hiroyuki Sawano's doing the score. Like this is really planting its seeds to be one of the best anime out there. Like it is A tier at the best. Like it's not an S tier, but it's not an S tier, but it's a very high A tier. I would dare put 86 at the same level as Shingeki no Kyojin. It's kind of weird how I put like a mecha sci-fi science fiction anime in the same realm as these shit. Like oh my god, it's so funny. Um, all right, let's move on. Let's move on. Next up we have the best anime ever of winter 2021. No, I'm just kidding. You know it. It's X Arm. If you haven't seen X Arm, Like this show is hilarious as hell, but for the wrong reasons. Now, if you have seen like stills, I think everybody has seen it. There are a lot of videos with regarding this some guy cooking freaking fried rice in X arm, and it's just so funny to see that that guy is in 3D and there's another guy who just doesn't occupy the same dimension as him. Oh my god, it's hilarious, you guys. If you want a laugh trip, especially with the crappy animation, then definitely check out XR. Oh my lord. Even freaking I don't know. I'd say it. I'm gonna freaking say it. Handshakers has better animation than X Arm. Like, oh man. I'm sorry, X Arm fans. The anime did you dirty. Apparently the manga is great. I don't know, but my god, just this is just so hilarious, especially when I watch it. It's like machinima level, kind of CG. It's so bad. But anyway, before I dig another hole. Let's just move on. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now, if you're frequenting my anime list, a lot, then and you scroll down to the top anime of the season, you might know that there was a new entry that literally came out with a whopping score of 9.07 star out of 10. Whopping average score. And what show would that be? Is it a shonen? Is it a seinen? Is it a classic? It is actually a shoujo. Now, I didn't actually think that this show would get a 9.07% out of 10 average score. Like, oh my god, I didn't realize it. But when I saw it, I was like, hell yeah! If you don't know me, I mean, if you have seen my Twitter, then you might know me as like a big fan of classic shoujo manga. And one of those classic shoujo manga happens to be Fruits Basket. Now, this is the final season of Fruits Basket. And I don't know how it got like the 9.07 score on my anime list, considering that most manga readers, especially in like a group that I follow, most manga readers were a bit like iffy about the final season. But this final season got a lot of recognition, and as someone who loves classic shoujo manga, especially Fruits Basket, this finale was just incredible. Incredible. It's just incredible. Like this show is just great. The adaptation is fresh, and I have no idea how. It is based on a classic shoujo manga. Like this anime was based on like a 1999 shoujo manga. It literally started in 1999 and ended in 2003. Like I have no idea how TMS were able to make Fruits Basket this fresh series. But I'm all for it, man. And this obviously garnered like a good ranking, and so I put that in an A tier. Great show. All right, up next is oh, all right. Here we go. Now, if you follow me again on Twitter, then you might have already seen my score for this anime, but and you might have actually seen me harp on about this anime for a lot of times, a hefty ton of times in Twitter, and it is this show right here, VV Fluorite I Suck. Now, I think probably some people who are watching the stream right now, they probably know uh, my my feelings on VV. It is absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else to say. It is what I expected from an anime by Wit Studio, written by ReZero's author Nagasaki Tape and Chaos Child's co-creator Eiji Umehara, as well as the plot of the show. It's what I expected and more. So, to give you a simple premise on VV, is basically Terminator Detroit become Hatsune Miku. It's just so incredible and so action packed. It's probably even more action. It's, I mean, one of the two. This is actually one of two sci-fi shows that I consider to be like the the pinnacle of spring 2021 sci-fi anime, because these shows just basically skyrocketed all the way into the end of the spring season, and I'm just amazed. I thought winter was like probably my favorite season of anime in a long time, and then VB came out of freaking nowhere. Oh my god! Like I remember the first few episodes, not a lot of people were watching VB because they probably thought it's an idol anime, and of course, if you have watched Giguk's seasonal anime review, then you might have seen how he feels about VV. I think if a lot of people think that Shingeki no Kyojin is gonna be this modern masterpiece, I think in 2021 we have a modern masterpiece right here. VV Fluoride Ice Song. It is fucking great, and I don't know what else to tell you. The music is awesome, and the finale was somber, and I didn't expect it to have a somber finale. I expected it to have like a more banger of a finale, but this actually works more than a banger finale. I was impressed with VB. It's like I don't know. I just love VB. It's great. It's amazing. I loved it. All right, next up here we have the final three shows in this tier list stream thing that was supposed to be a video, that idea of mine, but I couldn't be bothered to edit, so I just made a tier list and streamed it. Anyway, this the final three shows here. We have first up, we have Sentoin Hakenshimasu. Now, if you don't know what this if you haven't if you haven't seen any of this show, then this show is based on a light novel that was written by Akatsuki Natsume. And if you don't know anything about that buzzword that I just threw out, then you might probably know the author of this show as the author of Konosuba as well. Now, apparently, this show was the first show that he tried to write, but for some reason, he just couldn't write it. And he couldn't write it. But then he started Konosuba, and he was like, okay, let me get back to Sento in Hichimas. And then he wrote it into like a similar style that he did writing Konosuba. And since I said that, it is definitely a similar style writing Konosuba. It is a parody of power fantasy organizations, right? It is a parody of like power fantasy organizations taking over worlds and stuff like that. And it is great. I mean, this guy is just amazing at making parodies. If Konosuba was a parody of Isekai, then you might like this as a parody of power fantasy. And I don't know about you, it's a great show for like all the comedic reasons. My experience with Sento and Hakenshimas is literally almost the same experience as Kumu desu ka Nanika. It's so entertainingly brilliant. Though I would say Konosuba is still a little bit better than this, but maybe if I read the light novel of Sento and Hakenshimas, then I might probably like that. But again, all the characters have their very unique, very ridiculously screwed personalities. And I don't know, man. Takasuke Natsume knows how to break tropey stuff. And that's amazing to see. And that's why I'm gonna put this in a B tier. It's great. Alright. We're gonna start with this first. We're gonna start with this. Because I feel like it's gonna be a little bit anticlimactic if I start with this first. Let's start with this. Now this is a show called Hidden Dungeon. Only I can enter. Now this anime is the definition of it should have been a dojo. But I mean the premise, it should have been a dojo. But like the anime itself, it's pretty alright. And then some episodes bit, but most of it was, and some of it were alright. But the anime was just like, yeah, it should have been a dojo. Put this in the D tier. It's literally like the same as High Rise Invasion. I don't know what to tell you. And last, but certainly not the least, I hope this isn't anticlimactic as hell, we have Records of Ragnarok. Now, if you have seen my tweet on this one, then I absolutely believe that Records of Ragnarok isn't that bad of an anime adaptation. Although to be fair, they did butcher Adam versus Zeus, and I was kind of sad about Adam versus Zeus fight because that was easily one of my most favorite fight scenes I have seen in manga of all time. Like, man, that was like a letdown. But then the Kojiro Sasaki anime happened, and yeah, that really throttled me back into the show to like it. No, I expected enough from Graphinica with this show, but I did not expect to have like this 2000s vibes from this anime. I really did. I really didn't like this anime is probably good. It's very like I'm gonna say this anime is like as polarizing as Fudo anime. It's the same thing about like those manga readers really hate Records of Ragnarok anime adaptation because they butchered a lot. Kind of like the Berserk thing as well, where the 2016-2017 anime adaptation was butchered a lot. But this anime was it's that. It's like turn your brain off moment, like Connor mentioned. But to be fair though, I wouldn't put it at a D tier like a lot of people would. But I wouldn't put it in like a highest ranking. So it's gonna stay there at a C tier. And there you have it, guys. The ultimate 30 anime mid-year 2021 tier list. That's a wrap for winter and spring 2021 anime. Thank you, guys, for watching this until the very end. And I absolutely. I mean, I was kind of worried that I might abruptly cut the stream off because it just didn't the stream kind of lagged at my end. But there you go, guys. This is the tier list of the greatest shows I mentioned in Anime 2020. Already, I can see a lot of people saying, "What the fuck? Did you put Mushoku Tensei over Attack on Titan? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?" I'm like, oh, I'm not sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. Y'all know y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Especially with like the ending of that Attack on Titan manga. If they actually like adapted one to one, then I don't know what to tell you. Some of these shows here are I did not some of these shows, especially in like the B tier, are shows that like some shows of there I did not expect to enjoy. It's like let's say Kemono Jihen, Escape the Infinity, Mashiro no Oto, Shadow's House, Kumo desu ka, Nanika. Those are shows that I thought would be in like D tier or C tier, but they're surprisingly very entertaining shows. And of course, what I recommend are these B to S tiers among like spring of 2020 anime season. And the one anime that really struck me into this show, which is going to be a new segment for That's a Wrap, I guess. We're gonna put in the one anime that really struck me this mid-year was this one right here, Vivi, Flora and Isoc. It is because I have a lot of love for music and anime, and I have a lot of love for like Wit Studio sci-fi. And when I saw it's going to be like a Terminator plot, I'm like, okay, this is probably not going to be good. Then I watched it and I was like, I doubted you. Man, it was great. So far in 2021, not a bad start. I mean, most of them are like A, B, C tier, in my opinion. Although to be fair, some people might put this on an E, and probably some people might put this on an F tier, saying Records of Ragnarok and Book Shufudo are garbage. But I don't care. This is my tier list. And I don't know. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if you are watching this archive, then I might probably put a link to it on the description. Go check it out. It is probably roast my opinion on this if you are watching this archive on my channel already. And thank you guys for watching this stream. Oh my god, it's been a long time since I've done a stream. The other stream was like terrible. Like that stream part was like so bad, and I'm glad to see that at least there are some people who are watching this stream right now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you like this stream. Subscribe to this channel or my music channel for more stuff about me, music, and other stuff about this. Make another tier list, roast my anime tastes or whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video. Bye bye. And I miss doing